Hey everyone, today we're going to review the KoolSiln Portable Air Conditioner. This is a great product if you're looking to cool or dehumidify various spaces in your home during the hot and humid months of the year. And the great thing about KoolSiln is it does come in two separate sizes. They have a 12,000 BTU as well as a 14,000 BTU unit. The 12,000 BTU would be ideal for spaces of 500 to 600 square feet, whereas the 14,000 BTU will be good for spaces from 700 to 800 square feet. Just depending on the size of the space you need to use the unit for, you have a couple of options. As you can see, the KoolSiln looks really clean and sharp and high tech, so it'll look great in any room of the house. And the portable air conditioner just comes with a few pieces that make setting it up quick and easy. The first piece we have here is going to be the exhaust hose. So this will attach to the back of the unit, and the other end will go to your window using the window slider kit. And this will allow moist air that the unit is capturing to be expelled outdoors. Next item we have is the window slider kit. You'll see you have this gap here. This is where the other end of this hose will attach to when it's fixed to your window. And it does slide, so it'll be adjustable to various size windows, whether it's horizontal or vertical. You also have the wing nuts, and you'll use these for securing the window slider kit when you've adjusted it to the right size. It also comes with a remote, and it does supply two AAA batteries that come with it. So you can operate the unit from a distance if you'd like, and it has a 23-foot range. It's a nice and long range for you to use. And it does come with two rolls of adhesive and non-adhesive foam. And you'll use this when you're setting up the window slider kit to help seal it and keep external air and bugs from getting in. And the last piece we have is the drain hose, and this can attach to the back of the unit to allow excess water to drain out. So overall, just a few pieces. They're really easy to set up, so we'll go over that now. You can turn the unit around. This is where the majority of the pieces will connect to. Just keep in mind, you do have two drains. You have the main drain here, which you can attach the drain hose to when it's in dehumidify or the dry mode. And that'll allow all the water that is pulling out of the air to escape through the drain hose and into a pan or a bucket that you have the other end of the hose leading to. And you also have the bottom drain down here. So if you're running the unit without the drain hose, eventually the unit will fill with water and it'll shut off with an F1 error. And all you need to do is undo this bottom drain, allow all that water to run out, then put the drain plug back in and turn the unit on to resume normal functionality. Another thing to note is it does have two filter screens on the back, and they're really easy to come off. You can just use your hands, apply a little bit of pressure pulling out. And you want to clean these periodically to help keep them free of lint and debris so the airflow is not obstructed. And the bottom one also comes off, just like the other one. Same thing, it's just a mesh screen. It'll catch air and debris, and just want to clean it off periodically. And so using the exhaust hose, the square piece is going to fit into the back of the unit right here. So this will just slide in. And you hear it click. If you need to remove it, it's got a little button here. Just push that down, you can slide it right off. So you'll want to use the exhaust hose. It recommends during the dry or dehumidify mode. This will allow all the moist air that the unit is bringing in to be expelled outside the home. So it'll help make the dehumidifying more effective. Again, using the exhaust hose is optional, but just keep in mind that as the unit fills with water, eventually it will shut off. So you'll need to manually drain it before you turn it back on again. The exhaust hose attaches on the back of the unit like that, and using the window slider kit, as you can see, this does slide, and you'll attach the other end of the hose to this slot in the window slider kit here, and that will just snap in. And if you want to unsnap it, there's buttons on this too. Just push in and unsnap it as well. To give you an idea how the window slider kit can be installed, I'll go on ahead and open my blind to kind of give you a rough idea of what that looks like. So I have a horizontal window here, so I'm going to use the slider kit horizontally like this. If you do have a vertical window, you'll install it up and down like this. And also keep in mind the width of the window. The window kit does have a pretty good reach, but you do have a second piece if you need to use it. As you can see, this window slider kit is just wider than the one window I have, so I know I won't need that additional piece. What you want to do is you want to open your window and adjust the slider kit to the width of the window. And once you have the window slider kit to the right width, you can gently lower your window and it'll hold it in place. And then from there, there are instructions in the user's manual about how to use the adhesive and non-adhesive foam. The adhesive foam will go along the sides and the top, while the non-adhesive foam will be used on the bottom. And once you have the foam in place and you have the wing nut in place on the slider kit at its correct width, it's to help lock it in place. You then can use the other end of the exhaust hose and snap it into the outlet, and then you'll be good to go. One thing that can be tricky is getting the wing nut onto the window slider kit. So I'll show you really quickly how to do that relatively easily. So you want to undo the wing nut as well as the washer. And once you have the wing nut and the washer off, and then the other end of the wing nut, you want to find the hole that's on the window slider kit. You'll push the other end through the hole, and then from here you'll notice the other end of the slider has a groove. So you want to line that groove up with the bottom of the wing nut, and it'll allow it to slide right over. And from here you can adjust it to where you need it, and once you have it at the correct width, you'll want to go ahead and put the washer on first and then apply the wing nut. And when you find the correct width, you can go ahead and give it a turn. Make sure it's firm so it won't move. And from there, you can place that right in the window and you're good to go. And for the drain hose can attach to the main drain or the bottom drain. If you want to use it when draining the unit, you can. But the drain hose can be used primarily for the dry mode or the dehumidifying mode. You just plug this into the main drain. You want to have the other end either going into a bucket or another item that can capture all the water. But just make sure the opposite end of the hose is lower than the connected piece. That way the water will drain down. And the last thing we have is the remote, and the remote can be operated from 23 feet away and has all the same buttons you can find on the top of your unit here. So we'll go over that now. Alrighty, y'all. One of the things I love most about the KoolSiln Portable Air Conditioner is all the function and functionality it has. All the buttons on the top are going to be touch friendly. So we'll start by powering it on. And you see the louvers on the front will open up as the unit starts up. Starting with the button on the far right, we have the fan speed. So you have 4 different settings. You have low, you have auto, you also have high and medium. And then the 2 buttons in the middle, you have an up and down arrow where you can adjust the temperature and or the humidity setting if you're using the dry mode. And you also have 3 separate modes. You have cool, which will make your room cold. You also have dry, and this mode is where the unit acts as a dehumidifier to help dehumidify your space. And here in the middle, you can control the level of humidity that you want the room to reach. So it'll go from 30 to 70%. And then lastly, you have a timer. And on the timer, you can just hit the timer button and you can go up in increments of half hours. It goes all the way up to 24 hours. A couple other features is you'll notice the louvers are oscillating up and down. If you want to turn on or off that function, you'll push and hold the fan mode for 3 seconds and it'll do a countdown for you. So now the louvers will remain in place. But if you want to have the oscillation come back, you just push and hold the fan mode again for 3 seconds. And the oscillation will begin again. Another thing is you can turn off or dim the light on the display by holding the timer button. You push and hold for 3 seconds. It'll turn off the lights, and then if you come back and push any of the buttons, it'll come back on. You'll see the brightness is a little bit more dim. So if you want the brightness to go back to normal, you can push and hold the timer button for 3 seconds, and the brightness will come back. This unit does come with a child lock. So if you push and hold the mode button and the down arrow for 3 seconds, it'll activate the child lock, so now none of the buttons will work. If you want to unlock it, you got to push and hold these 2 buttons again for 3 seconds, and that'll remove the child lock. So on the unit, there is one mode that's only accessible by using the remote, and that's going to be turbo mode. So if you grab your remote, you power it on, you can hit turbo. And turbo mode is only available for the cool mode here. And what this does is it'll automatically set the unit to the lowest temperature it allows, which is 61 degrees. And also set the fan automatically to its highest speed. So it'll rapidly cool the space that you're in. So if you have a space that's super hot and you're trying to cool it off really quickly, the turbo mode is your option. But that can only be accessed via the remote. And on the remote, you'll find all the other controls. You have the oscillation or the swing button here that allow these movers to move up and down. You also have the timer button here. You have the brightness of the LED display. You have your up and down arrow here, which to control the temperature or the humidity level up and down depending on what mode you're in. You have the fan speed, which you can change the fan speed there. You also have the mode button. Another feature the KoolSiln has is when you power it off, it has a 20-second timer. So this will allow the unit to turn off the compressor and wind down before fully shutting down. And it also will shut these louvers automatically when it gets to 0. Now you can see there, the louver shut. Pretty neat. So overall, the KoolSiln is definitely a great and convenient item to have on hand. It looks great. It's super simple to get set up and easy to use. It's a great item to have on hand to help cool spaces or dehumidify spaces in your home. Another great thing about being a portable AC unit is you can set it up or take it down as needed. I highly recommend. I hope this helps and y'all enjoy.